Assalamu alaikum. My name is Lucy, and we're here to talk about social ills that can be cured by Islam in America. Have you ever encountered a situation where you see a problem around you and that can be solved using the principles of Islam, especially with non-Muslims, whether in a TV program, in real life, in articles, whatever you read, everything. So this is what we're going to touch upon and see how all these social ills that are plaguing our nation can be solved just by the use of Islam. Let's take, for instance, the issue of racism. Racism, by definition, is prejudice, discrimination directed against someone of a different race or belief against one's own race who is superior. So it's basically a belief. It's not something that is concrete. It's just that it's a mindset. So it's kind of like it's not concrete. It's something that it's a valid. It's just a belief. Now, the Quran states in chapter Surah 49, ayat 13, "O mankind," it says mankind. It doesn't say Muslims. It's not directed towards one particular group. It's directed to all humanity. It says, "We have created you from a male and a female and have made you into nations and tribes for you to know one another." To know one another. It doesn't say to fight each other. It doesn't say to kill each other. It says to know. That specifically says that you have to act to communicate with that person. You have to make an effort to get to know that person, which is not easy to do. So that means you have to talk, you have to see, you have to be out there and socialize. Another proof that racism does not exist in Islam is when the Prophet gave the last sermon in Jabal al-Rahmah, which is the mountain of mercy, and he addressed his ummah, which was over 100,000 members at that time. He said, "O people," again, he's addressing humanity. He's not addressing one particular people. He's addressing the humanity because this message was supposed to be transmitted generation to generation. He says, "An Arab has no superiority over a non-Arab. Also, a white has no superiority over a black, nor a black has any superiority over a white, except in one thing, which is piety and good action." So piety is the practice of your religion, and good deeds, meaning you have to strive to do good, not evil. So that's where the competition is. It's not a competition about race. It's competition about doing the good deeds for all mankind. Now, imagine this: if we're to apply these rules into our society today, that police brutality would probably be eradicated because there wouldn't be such a prejudice, blacks against whites. The white supremacy groups would be dissolved. They wouldn't think so superior to themselves and think of others as second-class citizens. And from there, you would have created a society that respects each other, no matter their color, race, creed, and that would eliminate a lot of social problems that exist today. Another social ill that is plaguing America is riba. Riba is money paid regularly at a percentage rate, for the use of money lent, repayment of a debt, basically. Now, the Quran states in Surat Al-Baqarah, ayat 278 and 279. It's a long ayat, so I will only phrase the important points. It says, fear Allah and give up what remains of the riba that you had used before. If you do not do it, meaning giving up the riba, the practice of riba, take notice of war from Allah and His Messenger. He mentions war, not a battle, not an argument. War. War will be declared against you from Allah and His Messenger. This is pretty, it would strike fear in anybody who would want to practice riba. Now, let's put that into place and how it would affect here. One, it would erase the debt. We have become a debt society that is built upon owning more than what you can pay for. We have become so bankrupt with consuming so many materialistic items that we are overwhelmed and we want more and more and more, thanks to the great marketing skills of media. This was not customary. Let's go back 30 years ago. It was very difficult to get a credit card. Now these credit card companies are targeting teenagers who have disposable income and will spend at any rate, no matter what the cost. So that creates a domino effect. Once you erase that riba, you erase the debt, you erase the bankruptcy, you erase all these ills that are plaguing. So you're able to save money. There's not too many people that save money. Another social ill that is plaguing America that needs a solution now, because it affects the whole entire family structure, which is alcoholism. Alcoholism is an addiction of the consumption of alcohol, and when one becomes dependent on it, then that creates alcoholism. So alcoholism in the Quran, it is related that it is prohibited. On Quran, Surat Ma'idah, chapter 5, ayat 90 to 91. Again, I will cut it short and basically state the main points. O you who believe. Again, this is addressing to believers. It's not being specific, but anyone who believes in the message of the Quran can be a believer. It is saying that intoxicants, games of chance, the sacrificings of stones set up, and dividing by arrows are only an uncleanness, Shaitan's work, that you may be shun it, therefore, to shun it away, don't practice it, and you may be successful. Saying successful, you will be successful if you don't practice these things. The Shaitan only desires to cause enmity and hatred amongst you. And also he keeps you off from the remembrance of Allah and from your prayer. And will you then desist? So basically, this is saying that stay away from these things. This is the devil's work, and you will be successful because you will be practicing more focus on other things. For example, that will eliminate an economical burden on the society of having to fund these rehab locations, the incarceration of people who have DUIs. And the 2014, there was, the statistics show that there was 88,000 deaths caused by alcoholism related. If they were alcohol related incidents. And it contributes to diseases, family breakups. So who are the people who suffer? It's the children. So it would create a society that not only keeps the family together, but also the incarcerations and the diseases and everything will be cured in the end, because when we practice it as how it should be, it benefits not only one society but humanity as a whole. And with that, we can talk about other social problems that exist here and how does Islam solve it, because Islam is for all humanity. It has the answers to all the social ills. And tell people, don't just keep it to yourself. Tell them that this is what the Quran says, this is what the Hadith says, and this is what the Sunnah says. It's all for humanity. Thank you very much.